These days, people have basically forgotten what Grand Theft Auto was like before GTA 3, or they, in fact, were never aware of it. Grand Theft Auto 3 was a bona fide cultural phenomenon. The series' transition to 3D couldn't have gone better for Rockstar. But there's a part of me that misses the old style of GTA games, the 2D top-down style of those early Rockstar games. In the years since GTA 3, that style has been relegated to portable systems, or, as has happened recently, just not even existed at all. Now, portable systems, at least for a short time, couldn't really handle a 3D GTA game, not until they put out those PSP titles. Now, the first example of these 2D portable Grand Theft Auto games was GTA Advance, for the GBA, as its name might suggest, which was pretty rudimentary. But today, I'm looking at the game that basically served as its sequel, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. The setup for Chinatown Wars is your pretty standard Grand Theft Auto fare. You're a fish-out-of-water criminal who needs to slowly learn the ropes of your new surroundings and work your way up the ladder in order to progress in the criminal underworld, all the while uncovering new secrets about the people around you. If you've played any of the GTA games between GTA 3 and San Andreas, you're already intimately familiar with the broad strokes of what this game is going to touch on plot-wise, so let's talk about mechanics. Just like the GBA incarnation that preceded it, Chinatown Wars is a top-down game, though it is a bit more three-dimensional in nature graphically. It actually looks pretty damn good on the PSP and even the DS. Its cel-shaded art style does an extremely good job at hiding its flaws. Combat is done through a lock-on system that can be somewhat finicky at times, though it does work well enough to pretty easily deal with most foes. So, like the old Grand Theft Auto console games. Driving can also be a bit touchy, and cornering at speed with a top-down perspective can take some real getting used to, but it does work. But while Chinatown Wars does all the traditional Grand Theft Auto things surprisingly well given its limitations in both hardware and style, what it does best has, at least to my knowledge, never appeared in a Grand Theft Auto game before or since: buying and selling drugs. Everybody's played a version of this game at some point, whether it was called Dope Wars, Drug Wars, or something else. It's like the stock market for drugs, where you need to buy low and sell high. But unlike those games, which are traditionally entirely text or menu-based, you need to physically move the drugs around the city, traveling from one place to the other, driving as safely as you can to avoid getting busted by the cops. Drugs that are cheap in one borough might be exorbitantly expensive elsewhere, and vice versa. I spent so much time in this little mini-game just driving around buying and selling drugs, it's kind of embarrassing. It probably says something that I spent the majority of my time playing Chinatown Wars playing a mini-game within it. But that's always been one of the strengths of the Grand Theft Auto games. Being able to do whatever you want, whatever you most enjoy, in the big open world. And I think this game does it better than any other 2D game in the series. Now, as far as picking a platform to buy this game for, Chinatown Wars was initially released on the DS, and it's eventually found its way to mobile phones, but I'd argue that the version I'm using for footage here is probably the best, the PSP version. The DS version was neat, and you can still see bits of it poking through in the form of annoying mini-games scattered throughout the game. But if you want it to control well, not require the constant use of a stylus, and look a bit better, the PSP version is your best option. Every Friday, I look at a game that was either ignored when it came out, or has been forgotten since. A game that people have missed. If you like that idea, be sure to subscribe so you can see latest videos. If you like this video in particular, be sure to hit that like button, and thanks for watching.